Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us here on Más Canosa. As I mentioned previously, we've got a terrific guest today for you, none less than Liliam Lopez. Liliam Lopez is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, one of the most successful business organizations in South Florida. Welcome, Liliam, to the program. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Raul. Thank you for that warm welcome. And, I love the name, Más con Más. I mean, it doesn't get any better. Más con Más. So it just gets you just in the spirit of, let's do more.
I'm glad you like it.
I love it. Let's do more.
I'm glad you like it.
And that's what it's all about, doing more for our community.
So, Liliam, first of all, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit about who you are, about your organization. Mm-hmm. You started in 1994, you mentioned?
Yes, correct. We started in 1994.
And a lot has changed during that period of time, but give us a little bit of background. Where you're from, your background, how your family came here from Cuba, et cetera, et cetera. Give us the whole,
of course.
A little bit of that intro.
A little bit of everything, okay. They call me Lily, so everybody that sees me now, you call me Lily. It's Liliam. My name ends with an M.
Right.
So it's always difficult because Anglos would always write, if they don't know me, they would write, Dear Mr. William Lopez, because of the M. But anyway, so they call me Lily, so please feel free to call me Lily. I was born in Cuba. I came when I was 3 years old. Obviously, tough time when you were growing up because my father had a lot of businesses in Havana. I was born in Vedado. And of course, he had to start from scratch. I remember he did a lot of dishes, fregaba platos, a lot.
Sure.
He did a lot of things. And this is a man self-made man, who owned like 8 restaurants and cafeterias. He had businesses, and he has to start from scratch. And I remember as a little kid, sometimes I couldn't even drink a Coca-Cola. I didn't have a lot of toys. And those toys that I was able to have, believe me, Raul, están in the closet on my daughter.
Wow.
So my daughter would throw away all her things because she's born in 19 years ago. But then me, at the closet, I said, mis muñecas, la que people me compró, the ones that my father bought me. That Santa Claus bought me, but I know it's my father. So I keep them, because, for us, remind me. And it's the way
do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a brother. He's older than me, and he does very well. He works for Siemens. Uh-huh. And so I studied piano. My mother was a piano teacher. Right. So now every once in a while, in this pandemic, I play piano, and I post it on Facebook. So everybody says, oh, Lily, play more piano. So now, I did finish the 8 years of piano, and I do play it. But I have to practice more because, when you don't play that often, it's like ballet dancers and opera singers. You have to do it like 8 hours a day, sure. And I don't have that time. But then you grew up. I went to school. I studied political science in St. Thomas University. I got my Bachelor's of Arts.
What were you doing before you started?
Before we started the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I was the executive director of the Spanish American League Against Discrimination, SALAD. Uh-huh. So I worked there with Dr. Osvaldo Soto, who was like a mentor to me, a wonderful gentleman, and also with Dr. Eduardo Padron, who had been founding chair of SALAD. Right. So I was very young. I had studied the political science and journalism. I used to be correspondent I was, a young girl, like I told you previously, politiquera. I love politics. I like to be involved in everything. So I was everywhere. I was part of I could say a Republican, a young Republican, and de los jóvenes. And so I did a lot of things. And then I got that opportunity to work with them. And needless to say that I learned so much. And they gave me a lot of confidence. Because I knew how to talk and how to write.
So let me ask you a bit. You decide to launch this Chamber of Commerce, 1994.
Yes, exactly.
Now, at the time there were already, several chambers of commerce in South Florida, right?
Uh-huh.
You had the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce.
Of course.
You had the
Coral Gables.
The Coral Gables. You had the Latin American también. I don't know.
Camacol, of course.
Camacol.
Absolutely.
You had Camacol.
I remember. You're amiga de Salinas.
You had all of these chambers.
Yes. Okay. So I'll tell you what happened.
What did you find that was missing that you said, hey, you know what? Let me start a new organization and compete with these very established players.
Exactly, and we didn't see it as a competition, but what happened was that I got experience in the nonprofit world. Right. And then I had a lot of friends that were businessmen and women, and they said, Lily, you know what? Because that's back in the day. Now it's different, but back in the day, they would say, Hispanics are always placed on a Hispanic Affairs Committee in different types of chambers. We don't get to leadership positions. I know that has changed, of course. Well, it's been 26 years. Right. But at that time, it wasn't like that. And they would tell me, you have nonprofit experience, and we have, the people to help the accountants, the lawyers, everybody to set up, the articles of incorporation, the 501c6 status, the whole 9 yards. And at that time, my mom was very ill. So they told me, so do you have time now to take care of your mom? Because my mom passed away like 22 years ago. So at that time, she was very, very delicate. Her health was very bad. So my friend said, you know what? You could do this. I'll give you an office, and we'll start it. And never in my wildest dreams did we think that it was going to be so big and so successful, because it was difficult. The first steps is very difficult. Everything that you start, whatever it is that you start, is very difficult. But I was very blessed to have very dear friends, people who have followed me, and new people that have come along the way, and the organization has grown to over 1,600 members.
Wow.
And we're very active, extremely active. And like I was telling you previously, before the pandemic, like our events, the smallest event would be like 150, 200 people. Like the big events, we had 450, 480 people for a lunch. Yeah. Not everybody does that. Not all organizations can pull that.
So, look, I think it's important to recognize, chambers of commerce, one of the principal functions of a chamber of commerce, aside from sort of advocating for the business community, is networking, right?
Networking, to put people with each other,
organizations, join chambers because they want to, meet other business people in the area, and they want to, share ideas and connections and ways to help each other. And so,
I love to do that.
And you love to do that. And you're very good at it.
I love to do that.
And that's why you've been so successful,
so
right?
in an event, I would get someone, okay, wait, stay right here. You said you need to meet so-and-so. I would run around the room, okay. You two need to connect.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to do it.
You did a fabulous job of that. I think that's what made your organization so successful. Quite frankly, in my experience, there were other chambers that didn't have that personal touch that you brought to the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and they've suffered, and they've had to change their business model. Because a lot of their members would say, well, yeah, gee, it's great that we have this lunch once a month,
but I need to get
and I pay through it, I pay through it through the nose because I'm a trustee member or whatever. But what do I really get out of it? I'm not really seeing the results to my bottom line.
You need to see results, absolutely.
I think that's...
And I tell people, if you're going to join and you're not going to be active, we don't, I appreciate it. I appreciate that you want to become a member, but we don't join. We don't want to take your money if you're not really going to be active and engaged, because it's not right. It's not the right thing to do. So
I thought that comment that you made about, back in the early 90s, how we were sort of relegated to the Hispanic committees, the Hispanic Affairs Committee, right? Yes. Because, I guess, even though, by then things had changed dramatically, but, Cuban Americans, the Hispanic community in South Florida was still sort of seen as the minority, and we would put you on this, Hispanic Affairs Committee.
Even if we were not.
Even if we weren't, we're no longer. Why should I be in a Hispanic Affairs Committee when we're the majority, right?
Makes no sense.
So that makes a terrific amount of sense.
Yes, so that's what happened.
Tell me about some of the successes that you've had in the with the Chamber of Commerce, but also some of the other things that you've done in this community, because you sort of created a foundation.
Yes.
You've been involved with the Beacon Council. You've been involved with FIU. So tell me a little bit about some of these other things that you've done.
I serve in the President's Council for FIU. I'm a governing board member of Larkin Middle School for the sciences. Board member of the Beacon Council. I also serve in a board that's from Miami-Dade County Public Schools. It's a very long name. For me, it's very difficult to say because it's so long. It's micro, minority, women, business. Sure. The name is really huge. I wish I had an acronym that's easy, but it isn't. But basically, I serve there too as secretary of the board. I also serve in Miami-Dade Health Area Education Center. They call them the Miami-Dade AHEX. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
But it's a very good organization. It's a nonprofit, and I serve there as treasurer as well. And I must be in many other organizations.
What's been the most challenging thing that you've done? Has it been the chamber, or has it been some of these other activities? What's been the most challenging? What's been the most rewarding? Can you differentiate between the two, or are they intertwined, or what?
Okay, challenging has been to build an organization from scratch. It seems easy, but it is not.
Right.
You need to have a lot of good people following you, people that believe in you and your leadership. And at the same time, you have to understand that there's people that help you, because there's people who think they know everything. I don't think I know anything.
Right.
And I depend on people that are experts on different subject matters to help me. And I appreciate it, and I welcome that. I don't have an ego, so that's important. But, this person knows about this, okay, I need you. So you talk to people who really know. So that's been very, very, very helpful for me to be successful, because I take from everybody their opinion. I don't challenge anything. I try to get the most from everybody, from these good minds.
So that in and of itself, the success that you've had, has to be rewarding, right?
Of course, it's rewarding, and the most important thing for me, being the reward is to see people that believe in me, and so many that have followed me, and the board of directors, our chairman of the boards, all the ones that we've had. I mean, we had the late Ralph Gonzalez Jacobo, who passed away like 6 months ago. It was great. Mm-hmm. Then we have Felipe Basulto, who was chairman, and then came on board again, and has helped me tremendously. Now we have Roland Sanchez Medina, who's the chairman of the board. Orlando Romero, Armando Trabanco. I mean, we've had so many chairmen that have been so good to us and have really dedicated time, which is something that I value, because when you give your time, that's something that you have to appreciate. So just having that's rewarding. Mm-hmm. To think that there's these people, these friends actually, because they become family, that they are so busy, yet they take their time. Sure. Because they believe in the dream that I had, and that's the rewarding.
What about the foundation? Talk to me about the
foundation.
Yes,
the foundation. Well, that comes back. I go back to my mom. My mom was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. Great-grandfather, great-grandmother, everybody was a teacher. So I said, I'm not going to be a teacher. But I think it is. I do believe in education. So in 1995, a year after we started the chamber, I said we should start a foundation. So we created the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Foundation, which is a 501c3. Chambers are 501c6 because they're business organizations. So the C3, we said, okay, let's start by giving $500 scholarships back in 95, 6 or 7 of those. Then we increased it to 1,000. There was a point in time when we had someone who funded us, and we would give $5,000 scholarships. Wow. But then that went to a national organization, which is fine. We understand sometimes big companies prefer to give money to national organizations. The bad thing about this, and I'll say it very candidly and openly because I'm very open, that doesn't trickle down. Yeah. Usually, national organizations will fight their favorites. Of course, that's fine, but doesn't trickle down. But that I had a friend in a company that helped us, and we were able to do much good, and we gave like $70,000 in scholarships. Then we joined partners with Southwest Airlines. They joined the chamber. That's an organization that helps minorities. That's a company that helps minorities very, very much, and I have nothing but good things to say about Southwest Airlines as compared to many other airlines. This, for me, is one of the best to help minorities. And so they became a member, and probably 16 years ago, one of their community affairs director came to me and came to a lunch where we're giving scholarships. And he said, Lily, what if we do a program together? Say, you come up with an idea. What can we do? And we take students on a trip. And I said, oh, I like that idea. Thanks. But I said, you know what we need to do? I came up with the idea. All these kids that we're giving scholarships to are the brightest and the brilliant ones. You know, the brightest students will get into Ivy League school, will get scholarships. Let's try to help the 2.8 GPA, the 3.0 student, because in reality, regular, common day, ordinary workers that are very good, by the way, are B- students, B, C+. The extremely brilliant are going to be the scientists, doctors, you know, the astronauts, all of that. Let's help these kids, a little push. So we started that, and through the years, we've had like 200 students fly with us, and then we select them. There's a committee, and then we take them on a paid trip, and then I look for a partner within the Chamber of Commerce. So Boeing, we've done Boeing, Microsoft, we've done Facebook, we've done New York Life, we've done corporate headquarters of Macy's, headquarters of Comcast in Philadelphia. We've been to the offices of Congresswoman Liliam Letinen. We've been to the White House. Fantastic. So we've done all of that. Even San Antonio. We've done San Antonio. Fantastic. And
Listen,
that's so rewarding. You have no idea.
One of the things that I love about doing these interviews, Lily, and I'll share this with you. I mean, you know, all too often we're seeing, you know, the same politicians and the same celebrities on TV, and it's great to have a refreshing face like yours talking to us about the significant work that you've done here in South Florida. We're taking a commercial break. We'll be right back to talk to Liliam about some important subjects, including the economic recovery here in South Florida. We are ENTV USA. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Roku. You can also download our mobile applications either from Google Play or from the Apple Store, depending on your online device. Give us a shot. You'll like what you see. Con una vista, basta.
Antioxidants are essential to protect your cells against the damaging effects of free radicals. Turmeric by Longevity harnesses the power of nature to combat free radicals by delivering a potent boost of antioxidants known for their incredible healing properties. Sourced from certified organic turmeric root, turmeric contains 95% curcuminoids, the active compounds that quash free radicals. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for thousands of years to promote both heart and brain health, as well as its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. We've also included a botanical blend of phytonutrients that include flavonoids, carotenoids, and sulfides. These natural, plant-based chemicals are powerful contributors to overall health and well-being. Turmeric, the organic antioxidant supplement from Longevity, formulated to promote optimal health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate. A strong heart is a happy heart. Your body's systems depend on a healthy cardiovascular system to thrive. Without a healthy heart, you could experience symptoms like fatigue, aches and pains, dizziness, or shortness of breath. Longevity developed Ultimate EFA Plus with a proprietary balanced blend of essential fatty acids. We started with flaxseed oil. It's been shown to improve the elasticity of arteries and support healthy blood pressure. Next, we included cold water fish oils, rich in omega-3s that can promote a healthy cardiovascular system and even increase levels of good HDL cholesterol. Then we added borage oil, known for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Blended together, these essential fatty acids provide you with the optimal blend of nutrients to help maintain normal cardiovascular health. Ultimate EFA Plus, the right nutrients to improve your heart health naturally. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
As you age, the collagen that helps keep your body in optimal physical condition breaks down faster than your body can replace it. But now, it's easy to give your body the healthy dose of collagen it needs with Collagen Creamer from Longevity. It's a delicious vanilla-flavored coffee creamer that's packed with 7.5 grams of bovine-sourced collagen peptides. Longevity's Collagen Creamer uses 2 types of collagen to better supply the protein needed to repair and strengthen the connective tissue in your body. It also supports healthy hair, skin, nails, and even bones. We've also formulated Collagen Creamer with MCT, healthy fats that the body is able to absorb and convert into an instant boost of energy. Add it to coffee or one of your other favorite beverages when you need it. Longevity Collagen Creamer. Support for healthy connective tissue and more energy, all in a tasty vanilla-flavored creamer. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Cardio Beats from Longevity supports a healthy cardiovascular system and helps supply the nutrients your body needs to support better physical endurance. Your capacity to last a little longer is largely based on how well your cardiovascular system expends oxygen and circulates blood through your body. Cardio Beats helps combat the oxidative stress caused by physical activity by supplying you with key nutrients that support your cardiovascular system. These nutrients have also been shown to help improve endurance. Cardio Beats starts with organic beets, a rich source of nitrates to support healthy blood flow and oxygen transport. We've added whole foods from highly bioavailable seaweed and mango fruit, both known for blood flow support, and antioxidant-rich sweet cherries. Then, for even more heart health benefits, we finished it off with key amino acids. Take your physical endurance to the next level with Cardio Beats. Talk to your Longevity associate for more information.
Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you have to look it or feel it. Immortalium by Longevity was developed to support your body's ability to age normally and healthfully. It's an advanced anti-aging supplement that combines the most effective essential nutrients in a cutting-edge, bi-layered and extended release tablet designed to support your telomere health and natural aging process. Telomeres are the biological clocks within your cells that form the protective ends of almost every chromosome in your body. Telomeres help prevent the chromosomes from deteriorating. The longer and healthier the telomeres in a cell, the greater the health and anti-aging benefits. Immortalium contains synergizing antioxidant enzymes and telomere health-promoting nutrients that are quickly absorbed to give your body time to break down the antioxidants and put them to work. Immortalium, advanced anti-aging support that can help fight the natural aging process. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate. Paying attention to your overall health also means focusing on the command center of it all, your brain. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and the bombardment of pollutants and toxins can all diminish brain and neural functions. When was the last time you concentrated on your brain health? Synaptive by Longevity is a cutting-edge, unique brain support supplement that delivers powerful nutrients both immediately and throughout the day. Its anti-stress nutrients provide instant brain-boosting support that helps with mental focus and cognitive activity. To enhance your body's neuroprotection, Synaptive's full-spectrum antioxidant blend targets 6 major classes of free radicals that inhibit brain function. This powerful nutrient combination also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain. Synaptive, optimal antioxidant neuroprotection and support for a healthy brain. Now that's something to think about. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Thank you for sticking with us. Welcome back to Moscow Mas. We've got a terrific guest, Lily Lopez, the president and CEO of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We spent the first segment sort of talking about her background and how the organization was created. I want to talk now about some very important issues taking place right here in our own community, and it's the economic recovery. You know, the reopening of the South Florida economy. What's going to happen with our schools? Obviously, as a Chamber of Commerce, you've got to be very concerned about that because, you know, you're representing the business interests of your members.
Yes, we are.
How do you think our political leaders are doing, Lily? I'm going to start with that sort of charged question. I mean, what do you think about our efforts to, A, control the virus, and B, reopen the economy at the same time? Can we walk and chew gum at the same time in Miami-Dade County?
I have not been pleased, and I'm always very candid and open. And I always say, when I'm invited to speak, you know, different media channels, that I don't think that our elected officials are doing anything bad on purpose. They're all good people, they're family people, but I don't think this has been handled well at all. This is very disorganized. I've been asked to speak many media outlets about what's happening to the restaurants, banquet halls, and then we'll also talk about schools. But let me go back to the banquet halls and the restaurants and all of that. I have no idea why Disney World is open, why Orlando's open, Broward is open, and why Miami-Dade County, the restaurants are not allowed to open. And we have lost more than 3,000 restaurants that have closed. I have a group of members that have an organization that's composed of all people that own banquet halls. There is no reason why people can't have an event and keep the social distancing. It's not been proven that the peak that came about late June, early July is related to restaurants. For crying out loud, what is this? So you allow gyms are open? I would suppose that when you're in a gym, you're sweating and you're like, maybe the saliva or whatever it is that they say that comes out of you, that is more dangerous than being in a restaurant. So I have no idea why this has been handled so poorly. And I say it, and I clearly, I mean, it's nothing wrong. It's not, I'm not saying anything bad about the elected officials personally. They may have good intentions, but they perhaps never had a business, or they perhaps were never an employee that needs to bring food to the tables to their families.
Yeah, you know,
so that I'm passionate about, and it bothers me tremendously.
I think you make a good point there, Lily. I mean, unfortunately, too many of our political leaders these days, it seems, are professional politicians, right? They have spent their entire lives, more or less, working in the public sector. guaranteed employment.
Salary, pension, and health insurance.
Absolutely, and they sure do look after their own, right? Because
First.
States and municipal governments throughout the country are now begging Congress and begging the president for financial assistance to keep their employees working, to keep them on the payroll, right?
Exactly.
And they want to, of course, they're not going to stop collecting taxes, right? I mean,
Of course.
They're going to keep charging us taxes, even though the people that fund them,
of course.
that support them, are suffering enormously, and many of them, their businesses have collapsed, like you mentioned.
And
the
these
restaurants.
businesses have to pay rent.
And these businesses have
Nobody's
to continue to pay
given a
rent.
break.
They have to continue to pay, sales tax and collect
Everything.
collect sales tax on behalf of
Exactly.
the government.
Exactly.
And yet they're not getting the support, right?
Of course. They're not getting anything.
Just out of curiosity, of these restaurants and businesses that have shut down, do you have any idea how many of them are going to be closed permanently?
Oh yeah, of course. And the statistics say, and actually it came out in the newspaper, it's like at least 3,000 that are closing permanently. Permanently, Miami-Dade County, yeah, of course,
Wow.
South Florida, absolutely, yes.
Man, that's...
And there's more, so there's like 8,000 or 10,000 are suffering, and then there's 3,000 that are, forever.
And a lot
Did
of
you
people...
read about Rio Cristal?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, of
And a lot of people don't
Or
realize
Tanique.
this. We think about business in America, and we think about Amazon and Walmart and these big companies, but really it's the small businesses that are the backbone of America in terms of employment, in terms of
Yes.
generating.
Yeah, of course. Small business, the backbone of the
It's the
community.
backbone of the community, right? Without them, things start to go south really, really quickly.
And something that I always say, Raul, and it's a fact that why, because they say it's essential. Okay, of course, for food. Walmart, the Costco's, the Publix, even Home Depot. All of that, you're allowed. And they put a tape here and another piece of tape there, maintain the social distancing. Why can't that be done in restaurants and in some other type? Because they wouldn't allow the barber shops nor the beauty salons at the time. Why can't you keep someone who wants to go to a coffee shop to have un cafecito cubano, a medianoche? Okay, you stand here. Wait till we serve the other one and then it's your turn. Why can't that be done? That's the thing that baffles me. I'm so confused and I don't understand what the heck is going on. Who's running the show here?
Listen, Lily, I don't think you're the only person
and people are
confused.
so
I think there's a
upset.
lot of people that are very upset, that are seeing exactly that don't understand why these big, why can I go to BJ's wholesale market, right?
And why can't I go to
and I can walk in with a huge cart and I can go up and down and I
and
can
stay
buy
there
all
for an
this
hour,
stuff,
but then I
okay?
can go to a restaurant even if it's 10 feet away.
Exactly. And then when I go to a Latin American restaurant, they're only doing outdoor dining. They have maybe
And it's 100 degrees.
It's 100 degrees. They got
That's an
maybe,
insult. I find it insulting.
10, 15 people dining there. And then I got to stand out in the heat because, we
insulting.
can't be near the takeout
And business
counter.
is going to Broward. I myself have gone to Broward for lunch with
Really?
the family. Yeah, and I have a lot of friends that go to the Keys, and that's business is going over there. And these people are oblivious. I have no idea what is happening. And we represent the businesses, and I feel passionate about this. It should not be happening.
What's happened in your organization? Because obviously, you're a not-for-profit.
Of course, yes.
But you depend on corporate membership. You depend on the membership dues that people
course.
pay. You depend on the
Events.
The events,
The events that we
and
do.
the money that comes in from those events. So what has happened in terms of your organization? Have you been able to pivot to this new virtual world where everything is, Skype or Zoom or StreamYard or whatever?
Yes, I've had to do it.
But I gotta
and-
believe that your revenues have been slashed dramatically.
Of course, because imagine we would have events every 3 weeks, with, like I say, with 200 people or more. So a lot of sponsorships. Now we had to pivot, of course, like you said, with Zoom, and we do the webinars, and we've been successful. We do webinars every week, by the way, and you always get sponsors. But it's not the same if you get 1 or 2 sponsors as if you have a lunch or a workshop where you get like 8 or 10 or 12 sponsors. So of course we've had to reduce some hours. We're cutting a little bit, but at the same time, we're lucky because we've been successful. We've been very careful. We have reserves, so we're trying to make everything work. And I have a show, which you've seen, the Business Minute with Lily Lopez.
Talk to us about that. Give
So anybody who wants to advertise, let us know. It's an 8-minute segment. And so we interview different members of the chamber, and it goes to our social media platform and to our members, so it reaches over 22,000 people, which is good. So it's been successful, and we're happy about that.
Good.
But it's something different, you have to do different things in order to stay connected with the members, because that's the most important thing. The members, and you know what? They appreciate it. I get a lot of feedback. They appreciate it. Lily, you know what? You're taking care of us. You're doing all these things, all these webinars. They're all different topics. Everything is very educational. So at least you know you're out there and you're serving the community, the members, and the community too. I want to serve the community too. And even for webinars, I allow those who are not members to come in because there are people who are suffering. Yeah. And you know what? It's not a matter of charging those people. It's a matter of allowing people in and to get the information that is needed.
Now, you know, the payroll protection plan that the president put together, that was available to organizations like yourself as well. Did you take advantage of that?
We did take advantage of that. The only thing is that they said it was not for 501c6. We did apply. They approved us, but we need to know now if we're going to be forgiven because it was for 501c3s and we are C6.
Okay.
But let's see. Let's hope and pray. I know they were working on that. The U.S. Chamber was working on that.
Okay.
So let's hope and pray that we're allowed to be forgiven. I love that word, to be forgiven.
Yeah, to be forgiven
we sinned.
to be forgiven for having
For
shut
the sin.
to be forgiven for having shut down your business that was doing fantastic.
Exactly.
But because we decided that we had a public health crisis.
Yeah, and still the PPP it gives you like a month and a half, so it still doesn't help that much, really, even for businesses. And with regard to schools, I know we wanted to talk about schools.
Yeah. What are your members saying about the reopening of the schools?
They say that parents should have an option. They should have an option. Those children that the parents want them to go to school, they should go to school. And those who don't want them to go to school, they should do virtual. Because what I'm seeing, and I love Carvalho, the superintendent, he's great, he's a friend, and I work with him. But what I'm seeing is, as a daughter of educators, you know that if you're first grade and second grade, and those very important years of your life, if you fall behind, you don't learn to read, you will never recover. So I'm worried that, like in 15 years, those kids that missed that important year in their life just doing something virtual, which you're not going to learn. I mean, we are adults and we don't like the virtual thing. So kids, you think a student, a little boy or a little girl can sit there and really pay attention? It's going to be difficult. So what worries me about this is the future. The future of these students at this time, if they're going to be a whole year studying virtually. Are they going to be able to recover from that? Yeah, that's what worries me.
But let me ask you something. I mean, it seems to me that when you talk about virtual learning versus real learning, classroom learning, if you will, there's a huge split in our economy and in our people, I should say.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I went to have lunch at Merrick Park or Merrick Village, whatever, with really my best friend in life. He's a gentleman from originally from Atlanta, Georgia, but he lives in Santo Domingo. He's lived there for the past 30 years.
Oh, nice, Santo Domingo.
And somebody who I've known for a long period of time. And when I went to see him, he had on the welder's helmet and the goggles and the nitrile gloves. And I mean, he looked like an alien.
Yeah, because you have the extremes.
Yeah.
You have the extremes.
And I was like, whoa, But there are people that are absolutely paranoid about what's going on.
I agree with you.
And
there's others that
are you see them as you're driving down I-95. They're in their cars with the air conditioning going on, and they got the mask on.
That makes no sense. It makes no sense at all.
And you say to yourself, what is going on here?
I think the media is driving people crazy.
I think those parents are there's a group of people that just absolutely don't want to leave their homes.
And then what happens is the superintendent has to try to accommodate the people. But like you say, and I see those people too. I see the people that's like, it's 50-50. I have the members of the chamber that are willing and able maybe to go to a reception if it's outdoors and stay, keep your social distancing. And then there's those that will never, like you say, are covering themselves, don't go out of their house ever because they think they're going to get the COVID. And by the way, I just want to clarify this. I'm not minimizing the importance of this virus. Sure. This is very dangerous. And I take care of myself, as you saw me. When I was getting my makeup, I said the mask and all of that. I mean, this is serious stuff.
I got my little mask
exactly,
here.
Exactly, when we greeted, and now here we have more than 6 feet. More than 6 feet separation.
I've been telling people, since day one, listen, this is serious, and you got to wear your mask.
This is very serious.
But, at the same time,
you can't stop the economy.
You can't stop the economy. And the latest things that I'm seeing, in fact, the CDC started talking about it this week.
Exactly.
We're starting to see an increase in suicides. We're starting to see an increase in depression. We're starting to see an increase in people calling, mental health hotlines.
And Raul, I have something.
Because people are, this is not a natural human condition to be at home, locked up all the time.
Locked up all the time and not talking hardly to anybody.
And not being able to go out and interact with people and have a life.
It is really bad. And what worries me, Raul, is the parents that work. So how is a working parent going to leave a child alone at home studying virtually in a computer? Come on.
Yeah.
Who's going to push that student, first of all? Second of all, if it's a small child, who's going to take care of him? You can't leave a child by himself. Sure. So then you have to pay for someone to take care of your children so that you can work. And maybe your hours were cut, or maybe you're unemployed. Right. So I really would appreciate it if our elected officials and everybody, they would do a round table. And let's just brainstorm. And think of these little things that are common sense that you and I are talking about that apparently some people don't talk about, because they say that if you question something, you're like you're saying, it's like you're minimizing the virus. We are not minimizing it. I know it's scary. I know it's dangerous. I know it kills people. I know it does, but we have to come up with a plan and with a solution.
Well,
and
listen,
I'm passionate about this because
unfortunately, some of our leaders. I mean, you look at what's happened in Congress now. They've gone for summer recess.
Exactly.
The House of Representatives and the Senate are closed. They're not reopening until September. Meantime, we've got 28 million people that are out of work.
Exactly.
And these folks have gone home to enjoy themselves.
Exactly. This is unacceptable.
I talked about that in our opening news segment, and they're fighting over. And I think I may have erroneously talked about billions of dollars, but we're talking about trillions of dollars. The Republicans are saying, listen, we're willing to spend $1 trillion. Nancy Pelosi is saying, I want to spend $3 trillion. And now she's saying, well, I'll meet you in the middle. I mean, what the hell kind of way of doing business is that? I mean, just kind of like saying, we're going to agree to a number before we agree to see what the underlying programs are and whether they make sense or not. Anyway, Lilian, it's been fabulous talking to you. We've run out of time.
We could have kept going. We could have kept going, you and me.
We can't. Thank you for being here. Thank you to our sponsors, Longevity, Cachita Coffee, Grimal Joyeria, Casa Resuelto.legal, and all of our sponsors. See you again next week here on Más con Más, and thank you, Lily, for being on the program.
Thank you, Raul.
Delightful to have you here. Take care, guys. See you next week.